If you have a debit card or a bank account, you need to know about this right now.
I tried to get into my account and I couldn't.
I've never seen something like this before. The scammers are depositing money and locking you out of your own bank account.
Fraudsters deposited money orders into his account, then made sizable withdrawals, all on the same day. Every time he got paid, he says USAA kept his money to cover the overdraft.
Put in my password and username and got to the website, but it wouldn't let me open my accounts.
It started when she was on her computer trying to log on to her bank account.
I didn't give them my bank number. I didn't give them my login to get into my accounts. I don't know how they were able to get into my accounts.
In this video, we're going to break down a new scam in which they deposit money into your account, and sometimes they lock you out of your own bank account. Also, at the end, I'm going to show you all how you can protect yourself and what to do if this happens to you. Watch this. If you want to stay updated on scams like this, subscribe today.
I couldn't pay my mortgage. I couldn't pay my car note.
Lavar's nightmare began like a growing number of bank customers.
It happened to me.
They all said it was my fault.
How do you not see fraud?
They send a text message out.
He too got a text
Looks like a legit USA text message, for fraud.
asking this military veteran to call in. Unlike other fraud complaints we've reported on, what stands out in this case, Lavar says the person on the other line did not ask him for personal banking information.
They even told me, do not give out your personal information. I didn't give them my bank number. I didn't give them my, stuff to log in to get into my accounts. So I don't know how they were able to get into my accounts.
He says the caller told him about suspected fraud with his debit card and suggested sending him a replacement. He asked them to call back a bit later.
And when they called me back, it came up USAA. The next day, I tried to get into my account and I couldn't.
That's when he called USAA to ask about the lockout and to find out when he'd get that replacement debit card.
It was like, you just got hit with fraud. And they told me it's happened before. They said, you're not the only one.
Lavar says fraudsters deposited money orders into his account, then made sizable withdrawals, all on the same day.
And I ended up going close to 6,000 negative.
Lavar says he never once got an alert about unusual activity on his account, and when he filed a fraud complaint, he says USAA asked him to prove he wasn't involved in the fraudulent activity.
Prove it's not me, but how can I prove it?
Jaded by USA's response and left in a financial jam. Here's why. His paychecks were on direct deposit, and every time he got paid, he says USAA kept his money to cover the overdraft.
Furious is just an understatement.
Now, if you think that story was crazy, wait until you see what they did to this other woman, how they got access to her computer and how they came to her house. Check this out.
This woman who asked us not to name her or show her face for fear of being a target again, but says she wants to share her heartache with hopes of preventing the scam from happening to someone else. It started when she was on her computer trying to log on to her bank account.
I put in my password and username and got to the website, but it wouldn't let me open my accounts.
She grabbed her cell phone and says she went to the number saved in her cell phone for her bank.
She says, oh, your account's been frozen. And I said, why? And she said, well, there was a suspicious charge from PayPal from the day before. And I said, well, I didn't make that.
She says she was transferred to what she thought was a PayPal fraud department, but the call quality was so bad that she ended the call and called a Florida number back. It's not clear how she got that Florida number. On the line with them, she says she was told the charge was for $82, and they said they could refund her, but she had to follow their instructions, which included downloading several things on her computer.
I typed $82, and I immediately looked up to the screen, and it says $18,000. And then it goes, accept, 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 just like that. And I said to this man, I said, that's wrong. I said, that's not what I typed in. I said, that's a mistake.
At first glance, she says it looked like an extra $18,000 was deposited into her account. In reality, which she didn't know at the time, the scammer just transferred the money from her savings to checking.
What you have to do to fix it is you have to get cash, go to your bank and get cash.
Hesitant to follow his instructions, but she says this letter with a Bank of America logo came out of her printer. stating there's a serious matter concerning your account, an unresolved tax issue related to a personal transaction from PayPal. As a result, online account transfers are temporarily blocked by the IRS. The letter goes on to state, we have not notified your local branch. It's crucial you refrain from discussing this transaction with them. Doing so may lead to freezing or seizing all funds in your account. You can see the call with the person lasted over 4 hours.
He kept saying, don't hang up on me, don't hang up.
She did stay on the line for over 4 hours. She drove to her bank and withdrew $17,500. As she says, a man told her she could keep $500 for her troubles.
The bank manager came over and he said, before we proceed, he said, are you being harassed? And I'm like, no, I'm not being pressured, because I didn't think I was. I didn't know I was being scammed.
She says she even signed a document saying she was taking this money out on her own free will. After getting the money, she continued to follow the caller's instructions, drove home. This letter, she says, printed from her printer, thanking her for returning the funds to PayPal, and a Mr. Jack has been assigned to collect the cash, not long after her doorbell camera catches this man coming to her door to pick up the cash. She handed over the cash, thinking the ordeal is over, and called her daughters to tell them about her long day.
Before I could hardly get this story out of my mouth, I'm like, Mom, you've been scammed.
At first, she thought she was the only victim until she saw this man's mugshot, Lingwei Zhang. She says it's the same guy that came to her door, and she handed over her $17,500. Zhang is charged with obtaining property under false pretenses in her case, and he, along with another suspect, are also facing charges in Person, Durham, and Granville counties of obtaining property under false pretenses, accessing computers, and felony conspiracy. According to the Person County Sheriff, whose department was the first to make the arrest, the two suspects are living in this country without legal permission.
And she wasn't the only one. Watch this.
She doesn't want her name to be shared, but wants North Texans to know what happened.
And he was so convincing, and he kept me on the phone for hours.
This Garland resident says earlier this month she got a call from a man posing as a Chase Bank employee.
He called and he said that someone was trying to remove $6,000 from my account, a wire transfer, and he was going to block it.
But she says the way he told her it would be handled, she now realizes was a scam.
I want you to go to the bank. I'm going to work with the Federal Reserve. We're going to put money in your account, and you're going to take it out, and we're going to look for red flags.
At first, she withdrew $9,500.
And I was getting notices from Chase with code numbers like you get, and I'd read it back to him.
And after that, she says he told her to go back to the bank and take out another $15,500.
In my purse, my phone is on. He's listening to everything. Don't talk to anybody at the bank. Don't, talk to anybody.
She says she was told to put the cash, which was her family's entire life savings, in a box and give it to an FBI agent waiting in a nearby parking lot.
She pulls up. I asked her, are you from the FBI? And he's on the phone. He says, yeah, that's her. Give her the money. Think it's over. And he goes, well, you know what? They want you to go back again.
At what point did you realize this was all a scam?
When I was standing in line, when he was trying to get the last of my savings, and for some reason I did have my phone open to my account, and I saw that my savings account had $2.98 left in it.
She says at her age, this is a loss she'll never recover from. But she's thankful police were able to track down 22-year-old Jessica Bahu of Frisco using her license plate.
Took our money and went to Florida and was on a yacht for 2 weeks. If that doesn't make you mad, I don't know what will.
Bahu was arrested last week for exploitation of the elderly, a third-degree felony. She was booked into the Garland Detention Center on $100,000 bond before later bonding out.
Now let's talk about how you can protect yourself and what to do if this happens to you. How to protect yourself. Number 1, freeze and lock down your account alerts. Make sure you get instant notifications for deposits, withdrawals, and even login attempts as well. Number 2, we say this all the time. Never click links in text messages or emails if it feels weird. If your bank really needs you, log in directly to the app or the official website of the bank, not a link from someone that you get via text message or email. Number 3, use a strong two-factor authentication, not SMS codes only. Prefer Authenticator app when your bank allows it, like Google Authenticator. Number 4, separate your accounts. Keep your main checking account for bills and your everyday spending, but have a separate savings or backup account at a different bank. That way, even if one account gets compromised, they don't get everything. Number 5, RFID hardware protections. Just like you use a RFID wallet to stop people from skimming cards in public, you need to think about digital locks for your bank account, password managers, device security, and no shared logins. Now, here are the immediate next steps that you need to take if something like this happens to you. Number 1, call your bank directly immediately, not through any number in the text or email. Look up the number on the back of your debit card or credit card or the official website of the bank or finance company. Number 2, report the unauthorized deposit. Make it clear that you didn't request or authorize it. This protects you from liability later. Number 3, lock down your own online access. Ask the bank to freeze online activity until they verify you again in person. Number 4, change all of your passwords, especially email, because if they control your email, they control everything. Number 5, file a fraud report with the same bank and in some cases with the FTC or local authorities. Documentation matters if you need to fight later for your own money. I'll see you at the next video.